just sucks about what just happened to him, and I really believed in him. But we'll just go on to the next game, and it's the next game I want to talk about is just the Bengals and the Seahawks. And I honestly thought at first that game was gonna be a shootout. It was already like 7-7 quickly, and Geno Smith, he still had over 300 passing yards, but he just threw two horrible picks. And Ken Walker got the TD. So Ken Walker's actually been balling. I think he has like almost 10 rushing touchdowns, and that was his main problem.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Gino just did not really look well all year. He hasn't really looked as good as he was last year. Um, but I definitely expected a shootout in this one too. But the both QBs just kind of struggled a lot.
Yeah, yeah. No, those defense. I knew both defenses were low key good though, but still I expected more points. And then Burrow, he was okay. He was okay. Two passing TDs. He had not 200. He only had 185 passing yards, but two passing TDs. Chase still had 6 catches and 80 yards. But briefly, I also want to briefly discuss T Higgins because he didn't really do much, and he's played 5 games this year, 14 catches on 36 targets, and only has like 100. He barely has 150 receiving yards. You know,
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much. I don't know if you kind of paid attention to last year, but it's pretty much how it was last year when T Higgins got hurt. They kind of first game back he didn't do anything. He was just pretty much a decoy.
yeah,
And so I think he's slowly going to be ramped up, but it's just kind of a little disappointing that he didn't at
he's
least do something.
yeah. It's frustrating though because he's averaging 30 yards per game, and I have stake in him, in fantasy. So I believed in him, and I just traded him. I just traded
I
him.
saw that.
Yeah. I got tired of him. I'm like, you know what? Chase is the clear one anyway, so just gonna get rid of him. And then but overall that game, you know, it was costly for Seattle. They just had big mistakes. Gino really had a bad mistake, and we'll see what go. I mean, these teams are both kind of like appealing, but at the same time, it's like they're
Just
they're underwhelming.
underperforming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
underperforming.
yeah.
I mean, but overall though, that game was kind of a snooze fest in the end. And now we'll go on to the Panthers and Dolphins because that game actually was more interesting at first. It was 14-0 Carolina, and at that point I'm like, no way, like no way are they gonna beat the Dolphins. But then Tua just said, screw it, Tyreek Hill is down there somewhere. He had like 6 catches, 180 yards, and a freaking crazy touchdown. Tyreek Hill is just, I think he's the best receiver easily right now in the NFL.
Man, it's probably not even close if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I mean, literally nobody can guard him. It's crazy.
And I do have him as offensive player of the year, and I definitely think he's gonna get that at this
Oh
point.
yeah,
And
definitely.
CMC's right there, but the way Tyreek Hill just looks right now is just, it's sensational. Like it's just crazy. But Thielen too, I want to shout him out because he has 11 catches again, over 100 yards again, one touchdown. Like he has like a career resurgence at this
Old
point.
man Thielen. Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
yeah.
It's just crazy.
I thought he was only gonna get like 700 yards. I remember I projected like 700 yards, and he's pretty much already there.
It's insane. I did not expect this either. I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, but Chuba Hubbard too. He actually had a good game too. 19 carries, 88 yards, rushing TD, and I don't know. I feel like Miles Sanders is not that guy either, though. I mean, he's. I don't know why they signed him to a 4-year deal. When they did that, I was already like, they're gonna regret that.
Yeah, it's he's pretty. I think he's gonna get phased out. Maybe he can kind of bounce back. With motivation because of Chuba, but he just does not look that good.
But yeah, I'm gonna close this game off though, mentioning the fact that Miami, it was like a 42-7 run after that 14-0 jump by the Panthers, and Mostert just absolutely ran all over them. 17 carries, 120 rushing yards, pretty much, and 2 rushing TDs. It was essentially just like they just started running down their throats. They just started absolutely doing everything down their throats, man.
And that's what they've been doing all year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you think they have the capabilities of being like the Niners though? This time around? Because last year they
I
played them.
only worry about their defense.
Yeah.
They are going to get Jalen Ramsey back, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
But the offense definitely
Hmm.
they can keep up with them. It's just the defense because the Niners are loaded. on offense.
But now mentioning the Niners, so that's the next game we're talking about. This is the best part, because we're both Rams fans and
Yes.
they lost. They lost. I'm so happy, but at the same time, like in reality, they probably would have won that game if CMC, Debo, Trent Williams, if they didn't get hurt, because obviously they're like three big players. But also I want to mention though before I pass it off to you that I don't understand though why they drafted Jake, what's his name, Jake Moody,
Jake Moody, yes.
in the third round, because he clearly costed them the game. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that it happened. It was. I was like when I was watching that game, I was like, no way. I was like, no way did they really are they about to win?
Man,
Because I was
on
watching it live.
yeah, me too. On the last few minutes, man, I was so shocked. And then my aunt, she's also a Seahawks fan, so we were both rooting against the Niners, which is funny.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just very unfortunate for the injuries. I mean, I don't wish injuries on anybody, but it just really sucks.
yeah.
You can tell how much of an impact they make.
No, but I also want to mention though real quick though, out of all the quarterbacks, PJ Walker is the quarterback that beat the freaking Niners, and he
If
had
I'm,
two picks.
if I'm being honest, I had a sneaky suspicion he was gonna be solid because I don't know if you remember last year against Atlanta.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember
He's
that.
he's kind of risky, and it kind of works out because he has a wide receiver one, Amari
Yeah,
Cooper, who's
Amari
been
Cooper balled
very
out though.
nice.
He balled out. He balled out.
Yeah, so I had a sneaky suspicion, but I didn't really believe it because the Niners are just so loaded.
But he was aggressive, but he paid for it though. They should have lost
Yeah.
that game. He had two picks, and but like Amari Cooper though, like I said, he was balling. Ford balled too. He had 85 rushing yards pretty much against that defense. That's an accomplishment.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, overall though, like I'm so happy and so glad that the Niners lost. But it seems like all the injuries are short term, so they're gonna just continue dominating if that's the case. And on to the second upset, the second upset of the week,
Man.
man. The Eagles. Honestly, that one was more simply that Jalen Hurts just got beat. He had a tough time with that defense. Three picks, and then there was a fumble, not on him, but there was a fumble too. So the turnovers clearly costed them. But what surprises me the most is that Zach Wilson beat the Eagles, and that given the fact that he did not turn the ball over, is astonishing to me.
Hey, he has heart. He's been solid, but I don't think it. I mean, the defense was good. Yeah, Jalen Hurts, he didn't have a good day, but that defense, with the with all those players that they have on defense, it's just really good.
Wait, you're talking about the Jets or the
The
Eagles?
Jets,
Okay,
the
yeah, yeah,
Jets.
no, yeah. But what's crazier is that Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, their two best corners, were out. So and he
Yeah,
still,
it's crazy.
yeah, but he still had a bunch of yards. He still had like 327 total yards. And Zach Wilson though, like I said, like he didn't turn the ball over. So he played complimentary football, but Garrett Wilson though, he for sure balled out. 8 catches, 90 yards. He's actually Zach Wilson and Garrett Wilson are actually starting to have a real connection, and that was the problem last year because they were really frustrated, like vocally. I remember Garrett Wilson was just very frustrated with Zach Wilson last year, and now he's being fed. Now he's getting some touchdowns. Now he's getting some receptions. So like, there's clear improvement, and it's clear that Aaron Rodgers is definitely having an impact.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's kind of he has his mind right. You can tell he just wants to win. He doesn't want to let the team down, and he doesn't have to be elite. He just has to be good enough to win them the games because the defense is really
Yeah.
good. They're gonna keep him in there. He just has to make the right plays and get it to their playmakers like Garrett
Exactly.
Wilson and my guy Brees Hall.
Yeah, yeah. Brees Hall had a nice touchdown too. And overall, though, it's just crazy to think about how week 6,